This video will show how to install Audacity and to record anything you want with it. Okay, I googled Audacity plus download in the Google search engine, and of course the resulting page is displayed here for you to see. And I looked at the link that had download.cnet.com in it, and I decided to click on that one because I know CNET is a safe site. So I clicked on that link there, downloaded the setup file to my computer, and installed it in the normal manner. And the file that was downloaded I have on my desktop here, and you can see that it is Audacity something.exe. So I clicked on that and installed it. That left me with the Audacity icon. Okay, so I click on that, and there's the Audacity main window. Okay, now let's say we want to record a simple test phrase, testing 1 2 3. There are a series of buttons at the top. You simply click on the record button and you start speaking. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. And oops, let's say I spoke at the end of that. Okay, now I click the stop button, and there's the waveform that is my voice for testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. So I go to the beginning of the file, click play, and I can listen to what I recorded. And in listening to it, I discover that little blurb at the end I don't want. And I also don't want the leading silence at the beginning of the file. Okay, so how do I get rid of that? Well, it's very simple with Audacity. Let's say I want to get rid of the blurb at the end and the silence at the beginning. Well, the first thing I've got to do is make sure that the selection tool is selected. How do I do that? I go to the upper left of Audacity, make sure that the I-beam is selected. I left click on the waveform and drag to the left to the beginning of the waveform. Then I go up to Edit, and then I choose Delete. And watch what happens. It deletes that portion of the waveform. Likewise, I can left click and drag to the end of the file and get rid of the little blurb that was the mistake at the end of the file. Then I go back up to Edit and I choose Delete. And that gets rid of the mistake at the end of the file. Now I go back and I rewind the file and I listen to it again. Okay, it's better this time, but I notice that the sound is a little bit low, and also it abruptly starts with some noise and then abruptly ends. Well, I don't like how it abruptly starts and ends, and I would like to have it somewhat smooth. So I use the selection tool again, the same selection tool. I left click on the waveform and drag to the beginning, and this time I choose Effect, and then I move the mouse down to Fade In. That starts the waveform from 0 and goes up to full volume. Likewise, I can fade out. So I'll use the selection tool to left click and drag to the end of the waveform. Then I go back up to Effect and I choose Fade Out. And that'll smoothly transition the waveform to 0. And I can rewind it and listen to that. And it makes for kind of a professional sounding clip. Now the only other thing that I need to do is to make this louder, because it's kind of soft. So what I do is I use the selection tool, I go beyond the end of the waveform, hold the left mouse button down, drag to the very beginning of the waveform. Now I choose Effect, and then I choose Amplify. And I use the default number that's in the box, and I click OK. and as you can see, the waveform is now larger. And I can rewind the waveform, go to the beginning, and click play, and sure enough, it's louder. So now the waveform is exactly what I want, and the sound bite is exactly what I want. So now I want to save it as an MP3 file. How do I do that? Very easy. I go to File, and then I click on Export as MP3. I click on that, and since the file said testing 123, that's what I'll use to name the file, testing 123, and then I click Save. And for the ID3 tag, I never put anything in it, so I click OK. And now the file's on my desktop, and I can exit Audacity. Now you should be able to see the sound file that was saved to the desktop, testing 123.mp3. I can right click on the file, and through context menus pick whichever player I want to test the file. In this case I'll use the VLC media player. So I right click and choose that and play it just to verify that it's okay. I adjusted the sound up and played it again just to make sure that it sounds alright. So pretty cool. Not bad for a free application, Audacity. And so that's how you'd make and record whatever MP3 file you want to using a very, very good free application, Audacity.